I would really love it if we could kill all the people with spears right now. Okay, so I've equipped the shocking traps. We're going to try them out and see if they're any good. And we're trapped, and we're trapped, and we're having rocks dropped on our head. And we're frozen. Throw out the traps. Okay, well, that killed one guy. Not super impressed by it. Let's try one more time. Chuck some on those guys. Okay, the shield blocked. So it does not go through shields, we know that now. And that used 2 of our 4 charges of it, so yeah. I don't see it as being very useful. I'd only use it in like an emergency. Alright, one more try. So it did like 3 damage to him. Yeah, that's not great. I think we're done with those. Okay, who do we got now? The Mansion Apparition. Looks to be a cold boss. That's going to be a problem. No casting for you. Summoning a lot of shielded skeletons. No summoning. Okay, this is a lot of skeletons. Okay, you can just... you go. I don't know why you had to freeze me on the way, that's just inconsiderate. Not this time. And now he's let us into more enemies. More enemies that are freezing us even more. God, I hate freeze so much. It's so much worse than stun. Stun actually is not much of a problem, because, like, everything slows down while you're stunned, so you only lose, like, a fraction of a second, really. Freeze does not have that same advantage. And now there's a ton of specters. I'd like to believe that my arrow rain killed all those guys, but I think it was just because he hit the next stage. Yeah, your little spinning disc move is really not that impressive. Pretty much doesn't hit anything. That hurt. Alright. Bunch of spiders trying to flank us. And that is a lot of spears. That is a lot of cold spears. I do not approve of this action. And we got a boss. Atomic Wizard. And we're being stunned, which we cannot dodge at all because he ran right down the path. And there's monsters everywhere, and I'm getting the heck out of dodge. Holy cow. And now we're trapped. And we're slowed. And we're trapped again. Thank God we have claws. Makes this like 4 times as easy. Okay, Atomic Wizard, I am ready to deal with you. Your number is up. You are now being served. Hey, that's not cool. Your friends were not invited to this party. And they're very aggro. Also, our fan's messed up. We should probably fix that at some point. Hey, so yeah, I forgot to restart the recording again when I had to come back. I'm scatterbrained, but good news. As you can see in our second spell slot there, we got the decoy card now. Wait, oh, and here's another one. We got the health amulet. You gotta be kidding me. It's seriously like giving us every single health and mana restoration card in the game. This is some sort of conspiracy. Okay, well, I guess we're going to use that, because why not? I mean, yeah, we'll replace the fan with it. I mean, it's only going to activate when we're near enemies on roguelike runs, so it's not going to be nearly as useful as it is in the normal play. But, yeah, it's still good. I assume. I mean, I've never used it in roguelike before. I assume it'll still be good. But here, we're gonna... Mac the Crazy Axes, haven't we fought him before? Here we're gonna see the decoys in action. So, this makes, as you can see, that ranger rogue at the bottom there, like an illusion, but it does real damage. So, with the current level, it makes 1 illusion for us, which doubles our damage for that period, because it does as much damage as we do, which is crazy. And it acts as a decoy, so they'll attack whichever, like it or me, depending on which one of us is closest. And it gets really good when you upgrade it, because every upgrade makes an additional decoy. So at level 3, you get 3 decoys, plus yourself, so there's like 4 rogues doing damage. And it's insane. I'm just trying to mess around and, like, see if when the claws activate, if it's... yeah, so we can get the claws to activate multiple times on the same enemy. It's just, it seems like it's just like when they move in and out of the range. It'll activate every time they enter the range, except there's a slight cooldown on it. I don't know, I was wondering if we could just, like, stutter them in and out of the range and kill them super fast with that, but not really. But anyway, now that we have decoy, As soon as, I mean, we really need a mana regeneration item first. We need the mana amulet to use it on a regular basis, but when we do have some mana and when we need some extra DPS, that'll be a much more effective tool than the arrow rain. So this is good. That's like one of the most overpowered cards that the Ranger has. The other being Knock, which is a huge area stun, and
among all monsters,
let's get... I don't have enough for the card slots. Why are we always like 1,000 gold short for that freaking card slot? Okay, let's see if we need to upgrade anything here. So I'd like to upgrade Decoy, obviously. Which takes a Truth and any other card. And the mana cost is so low on it, too. It's crazy. Amulet of Life would probably be good to upgrade. But Heal is actually better than the Amulet. I mean, it is a manual activation, but it's so much better healing. Vamp Gloves are quite fond of as well, but it takes 2 death and a life and or 2 lives. You know what? Let's identify some of our blue cards first and see if we get rune cards that could help us here. So we got a Magic Ring variant. Raven of Tsunami, so better chance to dodge zombie or to hit zombies and +1 mana, and our shockwaves are extend a little further. Alright, that's not bad. We'll swap to that. What else we got? Chaotic Ring variant of Wolf. I don't know what Wolf is. +1 health, okay. That's not bad. It's not bad. Where is it in here? Am I totally blind? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. I am blind. And we already swapped to it, so that was completely pointless. Okay, Vamp Gloves, nice. Mantis. Better chance to hit spiders and hit gargoyles. That's not bad. I might use that later. Claws variant. Claws of Venom, so poison. Speed up poison on monsters by 10%. And crazy about that. I don't know if there's a viable poison build with Ranger or Rogue. I guess she's got poison arrows, but we don't have them. Healer's Heal of Elephant of Blast. So heals 1 on use. Effect time increased by 10%. Chance for shockwave on player 10%. Okay, that's actually quite good. I mean, the 1 heal isn't really anything big, but the increased effect time isn't bad. Intuition of time, cooldown decreased by 10%. I like that. Because with intuition, it's something that you want to use pretty... You might, in some circumstances, you need to use pretty often, so cooldown reduction is a good variant for that. I don't think we even want to do the legendary cards, because honestly, upgrading the legendary cards costs so much more money than upgrading the base cards that I don't think I even want to mess with that.
Stay and listen
until like we've been through the entire campaign, honestly. Because I found that you just don't have enough money to be upgrading those legendary cards until I'm sure you'll, it's like a long-term benefit. And for up through the end of the main 3 bosses, I don't think it's worth it. I think we're better off just upgrading base cards. That said, screw all of that because we're curious, right?
And the only one left alive as well.
Narcissist. Chance to recover mana after casting spells is 5%. Monsters cannot heal when this card is active. Interesting. So it prevents enemies from healing. I mean, the recovery of mana is nothing. Like, it costs 1 mana. We're going to get 5% of that, get that back 5% of the time? I don't care. But, what enemies actually heal themselves, though? I guess like hungry corpses and stuff? Where if you shoot them too often, they'll heal? That would be useful against them. But that's about it. I mean, the final boss does healing, and every once in a while there's a healing enemy, but it's really not a big deal. I've never been frustrated by enemies healing, honestly, except for the hungry corpses and the Iraq gods. I'm honestly not sure if I like the legendary or the magic variant better. Guess we'll go with the legendary for now. Alright, what's this one? Arrow Rain. Armageddon. Chance to recover mana after casting 5%. Each arrow has a chance to cause a shockwave of random element. That's interesting. With all that, with like 50 arrows raining down, some of them doing a shockwave on the ground could actually be really good. But it's only a 5% chance. So we're talking about like 2.5 arrows out of the 50 would do a shockwave. Still, I mean, once upgraded, I could see that being good. I think the percentage chance for shockwave will go up, so it'll probably go up to 15%. Yep. Go up to 15%, and the number of arrows goes up to 150, probably. So, at that point, it might be pretty good.
Though I can see your future is very grim.
Because then you'd be getting like 22.5 shockwaves per arrow rain. That sounds pretty awesome. But for now, we are going to upgrade our decoy. And this will give us 2 decoys instead of 1. And on top of that, a 50% chance to apply other cards' effects. Which, right now, we don't really have any other effects on our arrows. But hopefully in the future we will. Wait, actually I lied. We do have one other effect. If and when we use intuition, then that will have a chance to apply to the arrows of the clones, which is really, really helpful. That's when intuition becomes awesome, because you can pop a bunch of clones and they're doing tons of damage, but if the enemies have shields, they can't get through the shields because they can't aim at the shielded part. But you pop intuition, and then all of their arrows break right through the shields, so it solves that problem for you. And the spells. Ooh, and we got Town Portal. Now, that could actually be really, really helpful to us in a sort of exploity way. I mean, I never use town portals. I've never used one at all. I don't really know. I've never had any reason to. But... Hey, treasure! But there's a little trick that we can do to make money from it. Because if you get a magical variant of the town portals, then you can switch back and forth between the normal and the... Was it the black? You can switch back and forth between the normal and magical variants, Yeah, get them decoys. And it'll like refund you the cost of however many scrolls you have at the time. So, and they're actually really expensive. They're like 1,000 per scroll, I think. So, it's basically like an extra 5,000 gold, or if you upgrade the scrolls to be able to carry more, then it's even more than 5,000 each time you come up to the town. Surprise! Now, I do reckon this. You see how good the decoys are? They just wreck stuff super fast. So I do recognize that the selling the scrolls is kind of an exploit. I'm sure they didn't intend it to work that way. So I'm gonna compromise. I'm gonna be measured in its use. I'm not gonna upgrade it to have more charges. I'm just gonna use the 5. Because we could upgrade it and get like bringing up like 15 each time and get 15,000 gold each time we come up, but I'm just gonna stick to 5. So it'll just be a little extra money to top us off. And moreover, we still can't do that until we find a magical variant of it. Ooh, holy cow, this is a lot of spiders. I probably shouldn't have kept going down that path. And the clones are not... I mean, they're taking them down, but they're just making more spiders. This would be a very nasty situation if we did not have claws. Death be upon ye! Okay, that was maybe a little bit of overkill, but it's always fun to surround the enemy with arrows. Here's a better target for our divine wrath. Come forth, Valkyries, and cleanse this din. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. Not a problem. I'm so in love with the claws, guys. I'm so in love with them. Let's get more mana. Still haven't put a single point into health. Okay, so now we got the corrupted arachnods. These guys drop down from the ceiling and shoot poison spit at you until you knock them down, and then they act like a normal spider going up on the ceiling, ambushing you. And then they throw out some spores when they die. So, fun all around. I'm gonna leave this cursed chest until we clear the place out. Oh, and we got a boss, Agile Reptile, but he looks fiery. Which is going to be a problem since we don't have any ice damage.